Hello. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tian and I'm an aspiring software developer. In almost 2 years of programming, I've learned to be fond of Visual Studio Code, which I use almost religiously, and PyCharm, which gives me the freedom I need when I'm working on a Python project. So why am I talking about Visual Studio Code and PyCharm, and why is my setup a little different? Well, as you can see, I have my camera set up right here and my screen is on recording for the purposes of this video. In regards to Visual Studio Code or VS Code, I've used the IDE for around 3 to 4 of my university programming courses, where I've used it for JavaScript with P5 and P5.js, building Ionic 5 apps with TypeScript and Angular, and constructing websites with HTML and CSS. The IDE offers a wide range of accessibility options, which you can find easily when you go to code and preferences, and a large marketplace, which if you click the extensions button, it will provide you the list of the different extensions that is currently in circulation, and it will help support your projects greatly. The accessibility options and extensions are very much up to the programmer. But when I code, I like my code editor to be on dark mode and to be aesthetically appealing. Also, I like to have my font size to be determined on what I'm producing. So for example, if I'm creating a P5 game in which you'll be able to see in further videos, then I would increase the font for readability due to the enormous amount of details that goes into a game. Whereas if I'm developing an app, then the font size can be a bit smaller. But again, it really varies on what you like to have set up in your programming environment. Now, Visual Studio Code large number of extensions is the reason why this IDE, in my eyes, beats any other IDEs. The extensions that I use regularly are LiveShare, which allows you to collaboratively work with your peers on your programming projects at the same time. Live Server, where you're able to launch a local server with the live reload feature, which is awesome for JavaScript or HTML projects, because when you activate this extension, you're essentially creating a local website for you to test your projects on. And also the debugger for Chrome, which you can use to debug for any JavaScript projects in your Chrome browser if you're a Chrome user. I'm not sure if this is available for, oh yeah, it is, yeah. If you're a Firefox user, you can also use the debugger for Firefox. It's easy to install, which applies to any of these extensions. You just click the install button and you either reload the IDE or you just click onto a different place and then go back to the extensions place, and then you'll be able to see all of your extensions. I love using VS Code so much, and in fact you'll be seeing me using this IDE for most of the videos throughout the series. However, for the Python series, I'll be using the PyCharm IDE. The thing with PyCharm for Python is it is catered towards Python programming. Any sort of Python refactoring, debugging, unit testing, specific libraries and modules, and the typical coding assistant, which includes code completion, syntax error highlighting, and quick fixes, are all available in PyCharm. I started using PyCharm for a Python course at university, and over time, I feel like if you're programming in a high-level language like Python, it would be best to program it in an IDE that was made for the language. Also, I feel like it is a good habit to use different IDEs for different languages because you get the exposure to the IDEs and how they work, which, considering not every single company that you might work for uses the same IDE or the same development stack when you're working on a project, where if you had prior experience in using the different environments, your ability to switch and understand how to use different environments will be a lot easier for you. Another reason why you should use multiple IDEs is the fact that you'll be programming with different languages with different syntaxes, in which it could be a good idea that you use the different IDEs whenever possible to avoid the confusion between the languages. which was actually my logic and reasoning during some of my programming courses at university. With that being said, I hope that this video has been a good introduction to the new series I have coming out soon, and I hope that you could learn a thing or two in regards to the IDEs that are currently in circulation and available for pretty much anyone, and that you will be able to pick up some tips into choosing which IDEs are suitable for you when you're working on a programming project. Until then, I'll see you next time with episode 3 of my programming series, which is the introduction to JavaScript, specifically P5 and P5.js. I'll see you then.